Welcome to my morning coffee. Always bold, hot, and full of flavor. Gia and Tonya are my morning coffee. What's in your cup?
Per usual, here she goes. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of My Morning Coffee, where the conversation is always hot, bold, and full of flavor. So glad you guys are here today. We have a dope conversation coming up, but let's go ahead and get started with Miss Gia and find out what is in her cup. What's in your cup, girl? What's in your cup?
Hey y'all, I got some shout out to Black women just because in my cup, aka coffee. Hey, let me take a sip.
What have you been up to?
I want y'all to shout us out because we doing big things and we just doing stuff. Girl, what have I been up to, Tonya? I feel like I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays, but maybe I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. We had a little break last weekend because, I was on a corporate retreat. I had to go on a corporate retreat and had a wonderful time on the retreat. Had some really good workshops I attended. Got re-energized, won a few awards and everything for just doing it. It was really good to go on the retreat. And
so we just got through talking about honesty, unfiltered honesty on this podcast. That's what we do. We do unfiltered honesty.
Yes.
I'm gonna need Gia to stop lying to the people talking about she was on a stinking retreat, because her ass was not on a retreat. Okay, she had her feet kicked up. She was in water that was about as blue as those title boards right there. And I need the truth, because
that was one of the activities at the retreat. Okay. It was a corporate retreat.
Marketing retreat.
It was put on by the Mahogany Box, our first annual corporate retreat. And so we went and we had workshops and we had all the things you do at a workshop. You have breakout sessions, you have lunch, you have breakfast, you have that little R&R time. So that's what I did,
you get naked with your spouse.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. But also I've been up to, I've been in the lab or in the creative space a little bit, working on a few little things, because it's Black History Month. So trying to get a few things out for Black History Month. I got asked to do this event. I think it's next Saturday, the 19th, I think it is. So yes, I want to say it's Black Business. See, I don't got the name right, so don't let me even put it out there right now. I had to put it in on the link or something on our page. So I've been trying to get things together for that, just bringing you guys new stuff. But also today, Tom, you see, I got this little hat on. I got the hat on for two reasons. My hair ain't done, y'all. I got in two little, what they call, old folks call two plaits with two ponytails. I got in two ponytails. I took my cornrows out, and I didn't have time to gather all this hair together and put it in a nice little ponytail for y'all. So I threw this hat on, but the hat is gold, but it's also, I got it on because it got a little gold to try to represent, that the home team, the Rams. I'm going to pull up on you real quick, Tanya. You see that? Rams. Yeah. I put this on especially for you, Tanya, today, because I couldn't wait for today, because I know you're a Bay Area, you Northern Cal kind of girl, and you all about San Francisco and stuff. So the minute I get to, hey, do something, and I know what you're gonna say. You don't even like football. I'm not gonna say I don't really like football, but I don't really have no team. But I'm for the home team, and since the home team is a Southern Cal team, and you from Northern Cal, I just figured I had to just go on and just put it out there, put it on you, girl. So there it is, Ram Farms in the house.
So let's get this straight. You take your ass on somewhere, and we don't have a podcast because you were at a retreat, and then you come back with some old stinking yellow and blue on, like you at SG Row, but okay. And now you want to throw shade. Bet. I don't think you need any more vacation because we might not have one more podcast.
Y'all know, girl. See, y'all know fans. Y'all know I'm a look. I got this blue and gold on right now for the Rams because y'all know I I'm all about that blue and white, Zeta Phi Beta. You know that's my sorority. Yeah. But because Rams is blue and gold, I had to represent the Rams today for Tonya. This is really all about Tonya. I want to put this so just because I know this is killing her.
With friends like you, okay? You could have brought me something back from your retreat, but instead you want to come with the gold and blue.
I did bring you something back, Tonya. I brought you something back.
Shame. I thought we was women's shame, women supporting women. Shame.
Yeah. So so what you been up to since I've been gone? What you been up to?
Hating on you and Jeff.
Well, Tonya, you don't have to hate on us. The next trip you can go with us.
How very charitable of you.
You know. Well, you don't want me talking about you don't like to be gone too long, but we weren't gone that long. So
I'm about to ban your husband from our podcast. Okay. He was one of my favorite guest hosts, and now he's about to be banned. I'm gonna need you to see that is not very family oriented right there. We family.
That we are. Right. And we know we love you, and we love that you were 49ers fan and a Giants fan and all that stuff. We got love for you, boo. But right now, it's LA.
Have your moment. LA. Have your moment. But listen, while you was gone, you people out here acting a fool. You see the 49ers is getting sued. You see Joe Rogan all in the news.
No, girl.
I'm gonna need you to catch up.
I have to catch up. Okay.
I'm gonna need you to catch up.
The 49ers are getting sued. Ooh.
By a coach.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to catch up, y'all. Catch us next week.
Oh, is that all about the whole was it the Rooney rule, all that kind of stuff's going that stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring someone on and talk about that because I can't talk about it with you.
Yes, you can because look, I've been up to speed. Jeff been getting me up to speed about that whole Rooney rule and stuff, and so yeah, I'm with it. Yeah, I'm really a sports fan, y'all, but I'm just not like a diehard sports fan like Tonya and stuff. It's like, yeah, okay. But yeah, well, a lot of people are gonna probably get sued in a minute because there's a lot of stuff I'm hearing that's kind of been shady.
It's a
in
lot
these organizations. So
a lot going on. We'll see. We'll get into that, but I want to bring on our guest because it's Monday and I want to get cracking. And I think
I'm super excited.
I know you are. So I think I'd get you refocused by bringing her back on. Y'all, first of all, I want to let you know that she would not give me her government name. So I'm just going to say from Camp Wanderlust, let's go ahead and bring on Super Aunti. Okay? Super Aunti.
Hey. Well, you guys, the reason why I'm excited because Super Aunti, aka Niecy, aka cousin, aka her non-government name Cree, she's my cousin / my niecey, and reason why she's my niecey, so y'all get it right. Her mama and me, we cousins, and we grew up as sisters. We grew up in the same household as sisters, so that's why I refer to her as my niece, and she refers to me as her auntie. But she's actually my cousin. But yeah, so I'm excited to have her because she's doing a lot of big things in the community with these kids out there, and y'all know how I be about these kids, right? So we're gonna bring her. We got her on here. We're gonna talk about what she's doing, all the wonderful things that she's doing. She's gonna tell you all about her and her kids, her camp, and everything, and how you guys can get involved. So
okay, Super Aunti, what is in your cup? How have you been doing? Let's hear about it.
I'm doing great. The coffee shop, well, my favorite coffee shop was closed, so I only have water in my cup.
Oop. But as much as you do with the kids, I'm guessing you might be a little parched.
Well, I mean, see, this thing that I do with the kids is second nature because I treat all of these kids like my own, so they don't drain me or anything. But sometimes it do get overwhelming.
So tell the people a little bit about Camp Wanderlust and how you got started.
Okay, so I started Camp Wanderlust a few years ago. I want to say about 4 years ago. And the reason why I started it is because I have a son, and my son is 11 now, but he was born with cerebral palsy, and he's, supposedly on the spectrum. So he had a hard time when it came to interacting with others, and I never put my son in school because I felt I didn't want him to be mistreated by other kids, because kids can be cruel. So I decided to start a camp just to give my kid a little bit more social interaction, because I do handcuff him. He don't really get to go out, and I don't know. I just was scared to send him to a summer camp. I wanted him to be involved with other organizations, but I was too afraid to send my preemie baby that was born at 27 weeks to another organization, in fear that he just wouldn't be able to protect himself. So I decided to start Camp Wanderlust, and yeah, we've been rocking ever since.
I think that's pretty dope that you decided that you were going to do something that you were a solution to your own problem.
Right.
Okay? I think part of the issue in our society is that people complain a lot, but they don't like to do the work. They just want to complain and have someone else do the work. You actually launched an organization to help you solve a problem that you were having, and now you help other people. Talk about how you help other people now with their kids.
Okay, so like I said, I've been a homeschool mom for 11 years, and this year was the first time I actually let my son go to school and kept him in school. He's right now in middle school in the 6th grade. He's getting all A's. He was homeschooled from, pre-K all the way up into the 5th grade.
Mhm.
And I used to post like little snippets of what I did with my kids on Instagram. And a lot of parents will reach out like, oh my gosh, do you tutor? Do you take other kids with you? Where are you? Because we'll go to some cool places like Yosemite National Park, and it'll just meet the urge. And I'm not too much of a planner, so it'll just be out the blue like, oh, come on, y'all, pack your bags, let's go. So I decided to form this organization to give kids other experiences that they wouldn't find in the inner city, or just, living in the big city. So I bought me a van, and I just started rounding up kids. A lot of the kids are children that I've been on for a long time, because, I'm friends with their parents. And then a lot of people are just friends and fans of my music from Instagram. So before I decided to take my kid, okay.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
You didn't even tell us about the music. What music?
Okay.
Oh my God.
See, Tonya, I told you. See, you wasn't listening. I said, look,
No,
my
listen.
little cousin, my
I'm
niece,
listening. I heard her.
She's doing some big things, and we got to get on the podcast. Girl, she raps, she do all kind of stuff, but I'm sorry, y'all. I lost connection earlier, so I didn't get to see.
You didn't have to tell them all that. I was flawless in how I dealt with it. Shush.
Okay. Well, I didn't get,
Just
I don't want to
let
ask the
me-
same question. Okay.
The music. Listen, ma'am. You got to talk to us about that. And then, were you doing music before you had your son, or did you start doing music after?
I was.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So growing up, my passion was, creating music, writing, and recording music. My father was in the entertainment industry as well, so he was a very big influence. That's all I wanted to do was music. So of course I went to school, but in my mind I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper when I grow up. My mom used to be like, you're not gonna be no rapper, you gonna go to school, you're not gonna be no rapper. I'm like, okay. So my other option was to be a veterinarian. So a veterinarian and a rapper, it doesn't make sense. But I love animals, and then of course I always loved making music. So I ended up going off to college. After high school, I went to Alabama State University. Great experience, but I ended up coming back home and never had plans on being an educator, never had plans on running a youth organization or even dealing with kids or even having kids of my own. So I, came home, got a little buzz with doing music, continued my education because I love educating myself, and I'm really an autodidact. I really learned a lot on my own. I know how to do pretty much everything. That's why my name is Super. And a lot of people say, yeah, super everything, because I do too much. And a lot of people, they're like, you don't know what you want to do. And I'm like, of course I do. I want to do everything. I do everything that I want to do with no hesitation. So I was doing music, and it's not the prettiest music, but it's a transformation, because I was doing rap, and you know how rap can be a little, raunchy and aggressive. And I decided to change after I had my kids.
So did you change because you didn't like what you were doing, or did you change because your life experience had changed and
Well,
maybe your conversation and your thoughts and your moods had changed?
my thought process changed. So I was making the music, and I had a lot of fans. They loved it. I could have blown up with music. I met a lot of people that are in higher positions now, such as DJ Mustard, and then a lot of people from the West Coast. I know Kendrick Lamar. I just know a lot of people just growing up, because we all had this passion, but a lot of them kept going, and I kind of like slowed down once I had my son. And I'm like, dang, this is really not what I want to represent. This is not what I want to be known for. I want to be known for something greater. I want to change the world, but I just don't know how, well, who, what, when. I just don't know how or what to do. So once I started Count Wanderlust, I started thinking like, maybe I could make educational music. So I started writing songs for the kids to, teach them a little grammar. I got a song called Noun, Verbs, Adjectives. And I just got some songs yes, I got a lot of songs dedicated to the camp kids, and, teaching them a little bit about Black history. But the bottom line is, I'm a great artist. A lot of people are like, oh, you so stupid. You could have made it. You could have been rich right now. You could have did this. But I'm just like, I didn't want to be known for that. I didn't want to be known for the person that I was. I want to be known for somebody that inspires and change the world and change views of other parents and children. I wanted to take it back to the origin of hip hop. So when music was all about inspiring and uplifting.
Legacy. That's what I hear from you, is deciding what you wanted your legacy to be, not just what people wanted to know you for, but what you decided you wanted people to know you for, what you want to leave here on this earth once you're gone. Your legacy was what you were planning for.
Right.
Super. Y'all, I got to get used to calling him, my niecey Super. That's just but Super.
Yes.
Let's talk. Can you talk a little bit about how having your son, your son being born with a disability, how that if it affected you, how did it affect you, and how did it change, and how did it motivate you to do some of the stuff that you're doing? Because we have a lot of viewers out there that that have kids, and some of them have kids with disabilities and stuff, and sometimes they probably feel as though they can't do it, and you're doing it all. And I know a lot of it came from your son. So
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So when I had my son at 27 weeks, the doctor said he was not going to walk or talk. And I insisted, because, I was going through a lot of things with his father. And I'm like, no, my son he's about to walk. My son could be a genius. My son is going to do everything he wasn't supposed to do. And now here he is, 11 years old, and he proved the doctors wrong. He's walking, he's talking, he's skateboarding, he's snowboarding. He's just doing everything he wasn't supposed to do, making straight A's. And, raising him was tough, because I was a single parent. I didn't really have support. I don't have brothers and sisters. I'm the only child. So I don't have that auntie, oh, can you watch my son real quick? I had to watch my son. So watching other people's kids really wasn't a problem, because I guess my kids get to interact now, and, they'll have a little bit more fun. So I put my son through a lot of early intervention. I mean, therapy, doctor's appointments, and just traveling and just showing him, different parts of the world. feel like it healed him, and just overall the love healed him, because I was really a hands-on parent. I didn't depend on no one to do anything for me or my son. Oh, they only gave me 30 minutes of therapy. Guess what? I'm doing therapy at home. As a matter of fact, we're not even coming no more, because 30 minutes is not enough. At this point, you're wasting my time. So I decided to become my son's therapist. I decided to become my son's advocate. I didn't have no one helping me out with my son. And when my son was 5 years old, I ended up having another child. And he's just the whole package. He just did everything. He just did everything before time. He didn't have no sort of delays. He thinks he's the older brother. But I mean, just traveling with Creon, which is my older son, and just showing him that he can do anything he wants. All he have to do is just try and do it. You might not get it now, but keep trying and you'll get it later. Just showed me that these kids are able to do whatever they want. Like, my son was not supposed to walk or talk. He's doing everything.
Can you tell him what your son was born with?
Okay, so my son was born with cerebral palsy. He had a bilateral brain hemorrhage. So it affected his whole, I want to say it affected his whole right side of his brain. He had a brain bleed. He suffered from seizures. It's sort of like he had a stroke. So they told me they don't know what it may affect, but I'll see like a delay later on. And yes, of course, I do see like a delay with certain things like social interaction. And, he's really quiet. He don't talk much. He only talk if you're talking to him, but he's highly educated. And, my goal was for him to lead a normal life. And that's where Camp Wanderlust came. I wanted him to have his own little organization. So this camp is really about him. I wanted him to have something of his own little squad, without having to attend, a public school. I wanted to.
I know you've talked about in your story and some of your posts how when Creon was younger, how he got teased and at school and stuff like that, and that was another inspiration, a motivation to make you want to start your own camp and give him an environment where he can thrive and feel as though he's and be normal.
Right, exactly. My son was pushed down at the school, and after that, I was just like, you know what, I can't do the school, because no influence is a lot better than a bad influence, and I just couldn't do public school. And then when he did go to school for 1 year, he had a African-American teacher. Her name is Miss Brown, and she was so good. And that following year, he got a teacher who didn't even take time to, learn him. And I had to pull him back out. But he had one good teacher, and her name was Miss Brown. And it's so sad that out of, kids go to school all these years, and a lot of people don't really make an impact in their life. Like, your teacher is supposed to be one of the most important, influences.
Well, let's shout out to Miss Brown. Like, again, shout out to Black women, just because.
Listen, I'm going to go ahead and show a clip of Camp Wanderlust and some of the work that you have been doing. So please walk us through this and let the people know, a little bit about Camp Wanderlust. I'm going to go ahead and play this, and then we'll get back to it.
Okay.
Sometimes I think if I could change my color, what I want to be. They say the white and the bright, if you black, you a fighter. 401 years of oppression, but it don't manage to pull up in that 2020 test. That's good credit, right? Gotta keep your hustle tight. Take care of your kids till that karma hit. And I ain't got no daughters, but I wish I did. These little boys, I swear they gotta be militant. Yeah, so these kick killing. And I be damned if a gotta take mine off and racing. That's why I teach them about black faces. And the KKK, that's all we can escape. Son, they don't like you cause you black. Son, they'll judge you from the start. Son, don't want no hate up in your heart, but you gotta move smart. They gon' judge you cause you dark.
Mama, they really had kids in the field. They don't care how it feels. Slavery paid the bills. Mama, this is mama designed for us to feel. How you give a man freedom but don't give a man a bill? Well, mama, what happened to 40 acres of mules? The only time they respect us is when we keep them amused. Wait, blackface? Why are they making us out of fools? Those stereotypes
when you really, that shit was gruesome.
You mean to tell me that Abraham Lincoln didn't really free the
They don't like
slaves?
you because you black. I'm so tired of protesting, but we can't stop protesting until we get our reparation. And we can't stop buying all up in the store, Gucci and Dior, until we get our reparation. Cause as soon as our money starts spending, just ending, they gon' forget everything that we was fighting. They gon' remember why they hated from the beginning. And we gotta go. We need our reparation.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
just one-
Auntie. I see you.
So let's talk about that video. Super.
You're on mute, babe.
Okay, so I'm not used to doing the podcast and interviews and stuff. I'm kind of shy, if y'all don't know. I am really my auntie, you know I'm really a shy person. As a kid, I was super shy. I didn't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
But when I do music, I have an alter ego and I just come out and I'm just like a whole different person. That's why I love music, because it's like my diary. I get to, be a whole different person. But me, Kriana, that's why you don't call me Kriana. I'm really shy. But yeah.
See, that's how you know we family, Tonya. See, that's how you know that we family. We both shy. We got these alter egos. They come out every now and then. See,
I get the stuttering and everything. I'm like, ooh, I forget everything I was about to say. So let's go. Let me talk. Let me warm up. I'm warming up now. Okay. So for the last 3 summers, we have traveled across the nation to locations like Texas, Louisiana, Tahoe, Chicago, New York, Aspen, Tulsa, Oklahoma, to expose these young people to different cultures and nations in history, of course. We have so many more trips that we want to go on, but at the moment, in the trips that we've been on, we have learned a lot. Like, we don't just travel just to go and have fun. We travel as travelers. We don't travel as tourists going to just take pictures. I mean, we go there for the education. Like, when we went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, we met a guy that owned a store over there, and he gave us our whole rundown. I'm talking about, he had a timeline in his back office. We went in there. He shared so much information with us. And I feel like that was one of the most important trips we've ever been on. So the trips basically serve as a vessel to uplift the kids from underserved communities. And, they can be extremely costly. And that's why the families that I serve, they do face financial hardship and they're unable to fund these trips. So me being super auntie, sometimes I have to go into my savings to make sure these trips take place, because regardless of the fact, if the kids don't go, I'm still taking my kids. So why not take more kids? And that's just my way of giving back. So now when it comes to that trip right there, we ended up going to Texas, and then we ended up driving to Louisiana, because I was looking for a slave plantation. I wanted to take them to see a cotton field, and just, we just wanted to drive to New Orleans and just, explore. We went on a little road trip. I took all the boys, and we ended up shooting that little video just off the strength. We already had the song recorded in LA. When we got out there, we was like, oh, let's shoot a video. So I end up I had my friend holding the camera, and I end up, directing them and letting them know, like, okay, we're going to shoot this video. And then I had edited on my way back to California. So the video was already done when we got back to California, because I did it in the car on our road trip.
You just randomly out here doing stuff that people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for, just randomly, just during a road trip. We just gonna light it up.
Yes.
Publish it. Make
Super.
it crack.
No plans, just doing things. Always got to do something. Just doing things. So Count Wanderlust, our motto is Count Wanderlust is where education, exploration, and entertainment meets, because I educate the kids as well. And I originally wanted it to be a traveling school. So I have a school bus that I'm turning into a mobile lab. I'm just waiting on our desk and, our little bar to get finished, but we got the floors, we got it painted. We waiting on that. Right now I'm at my learning lab. But you see, it's something with the Black community. They don't really like to pay for education, and it's tough because these kids need it. They're not getting what they need from these traditional schools. And I just feel like the most important things for me is reading and understanding numbers. If you can read and you can understand numbers, you can master anything and you can teach yourself anything. And a lot of kids are not even being taught how to read in school. So I have this mobile lab just to, for my education division and, to help the kids when it comes to reading and, early math.
Uh,
But
uh, I want to say something, Tonya and Super, at least into the audience. Super has a video, or I think it's a video she did, and it has to do with phonics, and she's teaching the kids phonics via this music video. I think it's a rap or whatever, but it's so cute. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know if we have it on here to show, but if not, you guys go to her page. Her Instagram page is Cap Wanderlust, and look at the video because it's awesome. And maybe she can you could talk a little bit about making that video and why you made it, because it's really it's something that I was like, oh wow, my niece is doing all kind of stuff. I'm just amazed.
I do so much. It's so hard to keep up with my life, but I'm just like, I'm all over the place. And right now I need an intern because I do so much. I got kids that's a part of a talent agent, so I got to get auditions prepped. And then I'm also trying to let the kids drop an album. I'm making music. And the only reason why I stopped making music. Let me tell you this. I stopped making music because, like I told you, I wanted to be known as something different. I found my purpose in life. So since I found my purpose, now I'm ready to make music because I want to make music that inspires and uplifts. So I'm making music, but I'm using my music as a fundraiser to earn, to raise money for Camp Wanderlust Travel Fund. So, we can go on trips. I'm ready to start going out the country with the kids. I already told them this year, I need y'all to have y'all passports. So yeah, it's education, exploration, and entertainment. And
what are other parents' response to the work that you're doing with these kids? How are they making it easier for you to continue doing this work? And then how do you get new kids into your program?
Okay, so a lot of my parents come from social media. I don't really, well, I should, but I don't really. I have flyers and stuff, but I don't really go out and pass them out. But a lot of reviews come from like Yelp, and a lot of new customers come from Yelp and social media. Word of mouth, for sure, word of mouth. That's where most of my clients come from, word of mouth, because yeah, it's
On average, can you talk about the cost? And I don't know if you have these figures right off your head of the cost per kid to take on some of these trips, because that's something that as a parent, or even when we were younger, going on trips, as a kid, we want to go everywhere. Mama, can I go? Can I go? And we never know how much stuff costs and to go and have fun on these trips. And I know it's expensive. So
right.
So on an average, say you taking 5 kids on a trip, what does that cost?
So, well, when we took the kids to New York, that trip was $2,500, but a lot of parents couldn't afford the $2,500, so we had to raise money. We had to make a GoFundMe. We ended up reaching our goal, which was like 25,000, but it was 2,500 per kid. These parents can't really afford it, but yeah, 2,500 per kid to go all the way to New York and all the way back. We don't book our rooms ahead of time because we don't know where we might land. We don't know where we might stop. So everything is like, okay, boom, we need an Airbnb. Boom, we need this. Okay, boom, we're gonna go to this water park. Nothing is really planned. Everything is just, okay, we know our route and we're gonna hit our route, and then we're gonna wander.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're just wandering. Now, when we go on our local trips, maybe to like Big Bear, or I don't really like Big Bear. It's not enough snow. We go to Mammoth because we really snowboard and ski. So when we go to Mammoth, that trip is maybe from like $400 to $500. I took them in the past for a little bit cheaper, maybe like $300. But When we go to amusement parks, I would do something for like, $100. And then we do a lot of free trips. Like I took the kids to the Sparks basketball game. That was a free trip. I just try to be very reasonable. And then a lot of people say, you sell yourself short because you do a lot of, you do a lot. And oh my gosh, when we went to New York, do you know how many toll road tickets I got? I literally got like $1,500 worth of toll road tickets. And I didn't even include that in the price, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't include that in the price. I had kids coming like, oh, we don't really. I'm like, okay, $1,000. Okay, that's fine. We'll cover it with our donations. Or, oh, I only got $500. Oh, I don't. We took one of the kids for free. But I noticed that when I do take kids for free, like the parents really don't appreciate it as much as the ones that pay for the trips. And I want paying parents that are willing to invest, because I know if I want my kids to do something, I'm gonna invest. If that's the price and I want him to go, I'm gonna invest. When you take them for free, they don't really appreciate it. They like, okay, another walk through the park.
Do you apply for grants? How does government funding help you? And how do you think they could be better partners in you working with, or other organizations working with youth like this?
Okay, so at the moment, my 501c3 is pending. I've been operating the business without my 501 and without any grants. But I think it's a lot of grants out there for, I don't know if it's for inner city programs, but I know it's a lot of programs out there for like Jewish youth and, other organizations like that. But as far as like the inner city programs, I guess I don't know. I haven't really been looking for grants, but I do need a grant writer. So
You've really just been on this tear by yourself, figuring it out, raising money by yourself, and with parents that want these types of adventures for their kids.
Yes, we've been surviving off of love and support from parents, and and just me. To be honest, I didn't exhausted my life savings on the camp, but we'll figure it out. We definitely spent a lot of money on everything that we do have, and I'm grateful that I was able to do it, and I'm grateful that I was able to take kids, out the city, because if it wasn't for me, they probably wouldn't see these, these different states and go on these different trips, because we don't have no programs like mine in California. Well, in Los Angeles, we don't have no traveling camps.
I've never seen like actually.
Everything is just recreation at the park. Oh, summer camp, come swimming. Like that's old. That's old.
That's what you was doing when you was a kid, huh? You saying
and the reason why I love this camping stuff, I love camping because I was a Darby Park kid. I went to Darby Park growing up. I went to a lot of YMCA camps, overnight camps, but it wasn't like mine. Mine is just a little bit different. It just feel like a family. We're a family. We don't really walk in lines. We don't hold hands when we're individuals. And we move as individuals, and we go and we explore, and we just have fun, and we learn a lot together. But at the end of the day, it's just a family vibe.
Yeah, it seems like your campus is a real life experience, like you said, and you treat your camp as though like it's a family vacation. The family's going on a trip to wherever. It's not structured like you say when the YMCA camps and the school camps and stuff. Everybody, like you said, got to hold your hand, walk in a straight line. You guys are just there, and they're getting a full experience. They're getting a life experience. That's what you're giving the kids. That's what it sounds like to me, and from what I see, you're giving them a life experience that some kids might not ever get to have. Considering their circumstances and stuff. And here you are, you're providing that. You're showing them that there's something other than the street that they live on, or the area that they're from. There's things outside of their city that has a lot of rich culture and history and education that they can get. And I think that's inspiring. That's very inspiring to me that you've decided that's your calling. And you're doing a really good job with the kids from what I can see. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why, one of the reasons why you're on the podcast today, because I want everybody to know your story and hear your story and see that you're doing great things out here for, with these inner city kids. And these, again, like I say, these kids ain't your kids; they're somebody else's kids, and we know how other people's kids can be.
And that makes a good point, because if okay, so listen, I pick up kids from Compton, I pick up kids from Watts, I pick up kids from out the projects. My kids come from all over the inner cities, and when I get these kids together, sometimes they do have like little fights and arguments and all that, but when I come through, they respect me so much that they'll turn everything down for me. These kids are on their best behavior. These kids are supposedly known as, sometimes they act up in school, sometimes they're known as bad kids, but with me, I have no problems with the kids. The kids respect me on a whole nother level. Even if I have like an assistant or something with me, they're like, oh, such and such was doing this, such and such was doing that. But then when I'm around, I'm like, oh, I don't see that in him. And then when I talk to him, and then he let me know. So basically, I'm the type of, okay, listen, let me tell you where the name Super Auntie come from. Super Auntie comes from me being the only child, wanting a lot of nieces and nephews. But of course, I'm not going to have a lot of nieces and nephews, so I had to create mine. So my vibe with the kids is, I'm Super Auntie. Don't call me Miss Cree. Don't call me Creana. Don't call me Cree. Don't call me nothing. Don't call me what your mama call me. Call me Super Auntie. If you can't call me Super Auntie, you can't come to my camp, because Super Auntie might have to get on your head. And when Super Auntie get on your head, you're going to have to turn it down, because I'm your auntie. And I tell my kids all the time, listen, don't get popped. And they like, but they know I'm not gonna whip them. But it's just a vibe. It's just a family. I wouldn't even feel right if they said Miss Cree. I'm like,
how do you get people that you don't know to trust you with their kids?
I don't know. I guess they see what we do on Instagram. They see how good I am with my own kids, and I'm like, come on. And then sometimes I take my little camp moms too, as chaperones and volunteers. Oh my gosh. Let me just talk about my favorite trip. My favorite trip is when we go to Lake Tahoe river rafting. Black kids on river raft, black kids on ski. We go river rafting. When I say we go and we turn up in that river. Like, my kids are super loud, and I don't mind. I want them to be loud, because at the end of the day, our little black kids, and this camp is open for everyone, not just black kids, but black kids learn different. They play different. They act different. They're a little bit loud. They're a lot louder. I'm going to say that. They are a lot louder than the typical kids. So when we get on that river, them kids are so turned up, and I just have to say that is one of my favorite trips. My favorite road trips, when we go to Lake Tahoe river rafting.
Isn't that funny when people think we don't swim, we don't surf, we don't river raft, we don't? I'm like, yes. How different. Y'all gonna learn today.
Yes, we go camping, hiking, and we love national parks. National parks are our favorite. But of course, when we go, we're the only little black camp. So
God, I love it. So listen, let the people know how they can keep up with you. Let them know how they can support you. And if they have some kids that might be interested in joining you, tell them about it.
So our website is www.countwanderlust.org. You can follow us on Instagram at Count Wanderlust, and also on YouTube. Count Wanderlust is our account name. You can email us if you're interested or have any questions at admin@countwanderlust.org. We'll respond within a day or two. Of course, I am the founder, the operator, my assistant, my boss. I do every freaking thing. And I do have a little bit of support, but it's all parent support. Like I said, this is like a family-ran organization. And if you would like to support us, and you have children that want to come to the camp, maybe you can try out a few, send your kids on a few local trips before you decide to send them on the big trips. And if you don't have any kids, or if your kids are all grown up, you can, support by sending a donation to our travel fund, you can go on our website. We have a donation button. What else? I mean, or you can just share our videos or just share the camp, and word of mouth is everything. But we are looking for some grants. We are looking for just support so we can grow. We would like to travel to Africa soon. We want to leave the country.
I love that.
Abroad.
And any of y'all out there, if you got some kids, some teenagers, some older teenagers that are looking for an internship, send them her way, because there's nothing better than being a contributor to young people, taking the knowledge that you have, and she gets to help mentor and tutor them into becoming, better adults. And I think many people miss out on the opportunity to just do things that help them become better. And then back to what you're saying in regards to the traveling, girl, you giving these kids some experiences that some of these adults ain't even had yet. I done met people in LA that ain't never left LA. Hello.
Yes. And my 16-year-olds that I do have, the camp is for like 4 to 16. So my 16-year-olds, they do work in the summer as camp leaders, and they do, they get paid for working. So yeah, it's great opportunity for teenagers as well. I don't take too many teenagers, but I do take around 4, and they do work as camp leaders, and some of them do get paid if their parents follow through with getting the work permit, and
Yeah, that whole thing. Well, listen, we want to thank you for coming today to spend time with us, to share your story, and just to share what you have going on. I think it's absolutely amazing. I will be checking out more of your music because I love it. And I'm excited to hear more of the music that you're creating now that you've found your calling. I think that has a lot to do with how successful people are, how passionate they are about their art, is really understanding who you are to be able to deliver those messages. If you don't know who you are and what you're about, how are you going to get someone else to understand what you're saying or feeling?
Exactly.
If you don't know who you are, tap into here and here. They both have to be connected. So you can't be somewhere chasing a dime, but your heart is somewhere else. It's not going to work. It doesn't connect.
Exactly.
It doesn't connect. So I want to thank you for being here, for sharing your story, and definitely keep in touch. We will be sharing all your information on the My Morning Coffee Facebook page and all of our captions. Make sure if you guys get this podcast and share it with somebody else, share it with a parent, share it with someone that's struggling with what to do with their own child, or even someone that might be in a hopeless situation or feel like no one gets it. Because as much as she has been through with her own child and now other people's children, you know that you have someone out there that gets it. They get it. Especially a doctor telling you what can and cannot happen with your child. She has proven them wrong. And, as much as we want to lean into our medical field, sometimes mamas know a little bit more. They know.
And also, like I was saying, my song is, I have a song dedicated to Camp Wanderlust, and it's called Proud. And I put that song out as a fundraiser. So if you really, really want to support us, just purchase that song. And then you get something in return. You get the song, and it's a nice song. And it's basically sharing who I was as a person before the camp, and then it's letting my it's sharing. I'm basically letting my old fans know who I have become, and I'm letting my new fans know who I was in the transition. So yeah, that's a song to listen to. And of course, like I said, I get real shy when it comes to interviews and podcasts. So if you really want to find out more about the camp, all you have to do is just go to the website, or you can ask, or because I share a lot on Instagram. I get brain cold when I'm pressured, and I just feel like, when the camera's on and the mic is on, I'm kind of pressured.
You're good though. I think you did great. We definitely got the message. So anything else, Miss Gia?
I don't have anything else about Gia. I'm going to use my time right now really to support Camp Wanderlust. So you guys go to her page, go to her website, follow her, donate, buy the song to help the camp. This young lady, she's doing all this by herself. And as she said, she's looking for an intern. So if you know anybody who's looking for an intern or needs some work to get some credit for school, send them her way. If you have kids, like Tonya said, that might be that you might want to go to her camp, check her camp out. She's teaching the kids. She's doing a lot of great things with the kids.
We
And
tutored.
her tutoring, her tutoring part of the whole Camp Wanderlust is phenomenal. If I watched her, she goes live sometime, and I look at her videos and the stuff that she's doing with these kids is amazing. And if I had a kid, I would be sending my kid to her camp because, like she said, we all learn differently. Some of us don't learn the traditional way. Sometimes we need a little extra. And that doesn't make us. It doesn't make us different. It just says we just need a little extra things to help us get the understand and comprehend what's being taught in the school system today. So it's nothing wrong with even if your kid is good, going and getting some little extra help by tutoring and stuff like that. So check her out. Tanya's going to put all the stuff on our Facebook page, My Morning Coffee, where you can find her. And like she said, check it out for yourself. But if you can donate, go to the website, donate to hit the donate button. If not, if you don't want to donate, you want some music, buy the song. Y'all buy the song. Y'all buy everybody else's song, buy the song, okay? You know how I feel about that. Buy the song. Let's support this young lady and her camp, and also too, because she's my family, y'all. So, support my peoples.
We'll be putting all the information on the My Morning Coffee page and all of our social channels and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for being here.
Let me just say one thing. Thank you guys for having me. And I just want to say, Auntie, thank you so much. You always been a person I looked up to ever since I was a little girl. I love my Auntie Gia. I love bragging. Yeah, my auntie, she a sergeant. She da-da-da-da-da. I love bragging on you. You are someone to brag on.
You gonna have me on here crying, girl. Stop it. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
All right. Thank you.
That was dope.
Yes, it was. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. She's just doing, like she said, she's super. She's doing a little bit of everything. Sometimes I get tired of watching her because there's so much that she does. I'm like, oh my God. She's like you, Tonya. Yeah, I don't see how y'all do it. Y'all be going.
Listen, I think for the love of her child, one, that's huge.
Yeah.
And then two, for the love of children. I think in her own search to find solutions for her own child, she found something in herself that was bigger than herself.
Yes.
And most people hopefully get to that point where they realize and they find things that are bigger than self. It's not always about you and just your what you want. Life is about how you leave this place better than you got it, not just for yourself. Because we also have to teach the younger people how to be better citizens, how to be responsible individuals, responsible adults, and better people. So I applaud her at such a young stage in her life, finding her purpose and continuing to push forward with that. That's huge. That's absolutely incredibly huge, and sacrificed her own music career to do these things, not just for her own child, but for others. Like, people have to recognize, how much selflessness do you have? What are you doing that's bigger than you? What are you doing that's bigger than just your household? What are you leaving as a legacy for this world? What is that? I would love to hear more from people in regards to, what is your legacy? What are you doing and what are you leaving here for the next generation? So I really do love having her, and I can't wait to continue this conversation even outside of the pod. I just appreciate it. I think she's dope.
Yes.
So what do you have coming up, Mama?
Like I said, I don't really have nothing coming up in the near future. Hopefully I'll be back at Nothing But Black at the end of the month. I believe the flea market is coming back at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. Not sure yet, but we did get some information that we probably will be doing something the last Saturday of February. So I'll be there doing my vending thing. And other than that, I'll just be, in my creative space, creating things.
Cool. We have to reconnect after this. I have some more work for you to do.
Okay.
So I I have some things to lay on your shoulders so we can bring the world some more amazing mahogany box stuff. But also to let you all amazing people know that we'll be coming to you twice a week soon. So stay tuned for that because we have so many amazing guest requests and just once a week ain't going to cut it. So be on the lookout for the announcement when that second time per week is going to be coming. We just have stories like this that just touch lives, and we feel like there's an opportunity to share with you all. So that will be coming up. I have some more author master classes coming for marketing and PR and tea time later on today. So if you are in need of any marketing PR help, you know where to go. Sand and Shores or Tonya McKenzie PR on social media platforms. That's all I got.
All right.
All right, guys. So I guess we will see you back here soon. Same bat channel, same bat time next week. But let you know, you can always subscribe on iTunes if you haven't already. Catch up on any of the pods that you have not watched because we only bring you guests that are going to make sure that the conversation is hot, bold, organic, and full of flavor. I was waiting for you, Gia. You were
also let us know if you guys want us to do some My Morning Coffee live unfiltered. Y'all let us know. Chime in, okay? Send us go to our Facebook page and tell us if y'all want some My Morning Coffee live unfiltered.
Because we've really kept it PG, but you know things can get a little adult.
Yeah. So we waiting to hear from y'all. If y'all want some unfiltered Tonya and Gia. Y'all hear me? Let us know. Okay.
Can't wait. You guys take it easy. Have a great rest of your week.